disturbing encounter at the playground. Hey everyone, I'm a 32-year-old mom living in a small town, and I just had the most unsettling experience that I need to share. The other day, I took my son Jake to the local playground. He's 5 years old, full of energy, and loves to climb on everything. I typically keep a watchful eye on him, but on that day, something felt off. As I sat on a bench scrolling through my phone, I noticed a man in his late 40s, dressed in a dark hoodie and jeans. He'd been standing at the edge of the playground, but when I looked up, he was watching Jake. I dismissed it at first, thinking he must be waiting for someone, but he didn't take his eyes off my son. What a cute kid, he muttered to himself, a grin creeping onto his face. My heart raced. There were other kids playing. Why was he fixated on Jake? I tried to shake off the feeling of dread, convincing myself I was being paranoid. After a couple of minutes, he started to move closer. He walked toward the swings, but he was still facing Jake, who was busy climbing up a slide. The man casually sat down on a swing, pushing himself lightly. I felt the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. Every time Jake moved to another section of the playground, I saw the man's gaze follow him with unsettling intensity. It wasn't just casual watching, it was as though he was studying him, calculating. By this time, I reached for my phone again and started recording, hoping to get a glimpse of his face in case I needed it later. This is crazy, I thought. I should just say something. But what were the chances he'd do anything? Right? It was when Jake yelled out, "Look at me, Mommy," and started to wave from the top of the slide that everything escalated. That man suddenly got up, approached the base of the slide, and said loudly, "Wow, you're so brave, you must have a superpower." I felt bile rise in my throat. His tone was off. It felt too friendly, too rehearsed. I rushed over. "Hey, you need to back off," I said with a shaky voice, placing myself between him and Jake. He raised his hands defensively, a twisted smile on his lips, just encouraging him, that's all. But I didn't feel reassured. I didn't like how he looked at my son, as if he was more than just a playful kid. With Jake at my side, I told him we were leaving. I shot one last glance back at the man. His smile faltered, and for a second, I swore I saw anger in his eyes. We hurried to the car, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd stepped into a horror movie. To this day, I can't explain why I felt such an intense threat from that man. I've reported it to the police, and I hope they can do something, but I know it wasn't just my imagination. Just a reminder, always trust your instincts as a parent. You never know who's watching when you think nobody is.